Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mishel, and today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it's by Roald Dahl. Before we get into this video, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that like button. And I would also like to say that this is not a book review, it's just me sharing my thoughts on this book because it's obviously highly reviewed for a reason. And then I would also like to say, talk a little bit about the author, Roald Dahl. This book was actually banned in some places for a little bit because they thought that it didn't have much literal value, but later on they realized that it taught some good lessons and that it would be important for people to actually read this book. And Roald Dahl, the author, was inspired to write this book based off of his hometown and his experience with the chocolate factories that he lived around and companies, and how they would always send out newsletters and look for children's input on their chocolates. And so that's a little bit about the author and a little bit about the book. It was published somewhere, I want to say 1964, I think that's the exact year that it was published in. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's start talking about this book. So the main protagonist of this book is Charlie, and Charlie lives in a very small town, so there's not really much to it. Everyone knows each other, and he lives with his parents, and their parents live with them as well. So obviously there are a lot of people who are living in this house, but they don't even really live in a house, they live in a shack. And so it's always really cold, and not only that, but there's only one person in this family who works, so that's the only person who provides in this family, and that is Charlie's father. And Charlie's father's job is to screw toothpaste caps onto toothpaste, and so he doesn't earn much money at all, and so he can't really provide that much for the family. He can barely afford to pay for meals, for every single meal, and Charlie is obviously a growing boy, and so he really needs food. So he's really skinny, doesn't eat much, and he's really selfless. He always tries to give his food to his mother or his grandparents or to his father because he knows that they're starving to death as well. And so one day, before I talk about that, Charlie is obsessed with chocolate. Charlie literally loves chocolate, and every year on his birthday, his parents buy him one bar of chocolate. They save up the whole year for it because they obviously can't afford to buy it randomly. They don't have that kind of money, but he really loves chocolate, so he always looks forward to it, always savors the chocolate when he gets it. But one thing that he's really lucky about is that he has a chocolate factory to be specific, in his town, and it's actually Willy Wonka's factory. And Willy Wonka is an expert at making chocolate. He's really great at it. He makes amazing kinds of chocolate. He has gum that lasts that never loses flavor. His chocolate tastes great. Everyone loves his factory and everyone wants more from him. And one day, Willy Wonka's factory actually closed down, and nobody really knows what was going on in there. He had a bunch of workers that were living in the town or from other towns as well, but what was happening was that they were revealing his secrets as to how he made this amazing chocolate to other companies, and so Willy Wonka had no choice but to fire them, and he had to come up with a solution so that he could finally open his factory again. And so when he does open his factory again, it's a few months later, and everyone is really shocked, but nobody knows who's working in there. And so there are just a lot of secrets revolving around this factory, and everyone's curious to know what's happening. And so one day, Willy Wonka decides that he's going to let just five children, into his factory, and they can see his secrets, who's working in the factory, how he comes up with his ideas, what the whole factory looks like, just reveal all his secrets to these 5 children. And so how is he going to do this? How is he going to pick 5 children? Basically, there's going to be 5 golden tickets, and they're going to be somewhere in his chocolate. He's going to sell his chocolate, but only 5 of them will have a golden ticket in it. And so Charlie obviously looks at this as a great opportunity, but how is he ever going to get a golden ticket if he only gets 1 bar each year on his birthday? And so that is what this whole book is about. You have to stay tuned to see whether or not Charlie does get a golden ticket, but I don't want to spoil that part for you at all. So what did I think of this book? It was a really exciting book. I really do love Roald Dahl's sense of humor. It definitely shined throughout this book, and it makes you just smile and laugh. and I actually really enjoyed this book. And any person, any reader can read this book. It's appropriate for all ages, and I thought all of the lessons in this book were really great as well. Really just teaches you to appreciate the small things in life, and it really makes you look at Charlie and say wow, because he is such a selfless person, and it's really, really hard to be selfless, and you really can see Charlie truly being selfless effortlessly. And so I really did enjoy this book. If you guys haven't read this book already, make sure you check out the description box below, where I will leave the links for Amazon, Google Books, Barnes & Nobles. If you click on the link for Google Books and you scroll down, it should show the nearest libraries that this book is available at. And as you guys know, in every single one of my book reviews, I have a sneak peek where I show you guys what the next book I'm going to be reviewing looks like. And here's what it looks like. It is called Frankenstein, and it is by Mary Shelley. If you guys are excited for this book review, then make sure you check out my page. I post every Sunday, and I will see you guys next Sunday with a new video. Bye guys!